is intimidating the judiciary. We have the percentage of how you have polled.
Yes, it is closely tied. 56% of you say yes, and 44%.
Right, it is managing time for KTN's Job Center rather. Now, every Monday night, what we try to do is have forward-looking conversations about unemployment in this country and try to move the Kenyan youth a step ahead in trying to get a meaningful and decent livelihood. Now, you and I both know that agriculture
says the National Assembly does not respect decisions of the judiciary, but they instead oppose and intimidate,
especially bearing in mind that our economy is supposed to be anchored on agriculture. Well, we've seen a surge in young people getting into agriculture. It's like agribusiness.
Thank you for being part of this bulletin and for watching Sleep Well. We'll see you tomorrow. Remember, Case Files with Dennis on Sorigo begins in just a few minutes.
My name is Ben Kitili. Good night from the KTN News Center.
What that means is that it can be picked up quite easily by a lot of speculators.
Mumias has been subject to mismanagement, a situation that has seen it plunge deep into losses. In 2012, the miller recorded a full-year loss of 1.1 billion shillings and has been unable to recover since then. Though it returned a smaller loss of 73.4 million shillings for the 6 months to December 2013, lack of prudence in management of energy and transport costs has seen the company keep its poor performance, further scaring investors.
Once you work out these two functions and you're able to manage them efficiently, then we have a better performing sugar miller. And I think that for Mumias, they've not been able to sort of manage these two cost components efficiently.
According to analysts, Mumias risks suspension from trading if its stock continues to plunge and the miller fails to take drastic steps towards reversing its losses.
Well, the Kenyan person has redefined agriculture, so to speak. And from the market's mobile penetration in the country is on the rise, up 1.3% in the first unemployment in this country. During the third quarter period between January and March, penetration stood at 78.2% behind Mkulima Young, 9% the previous quarter, according to the Communication Authority's third quarter report. This increase led to a marginal increase in the mobile subscriptions, which stood at 31.8 million users. The brains behind Mkulima Young, karibu sana Joseph, but was down to 0.1% to 67.8% to just about 21.5 million customers. Airtel's market share remains stagnant at 16.5% or 5.2 million customers, while Telecom Kenya's market share grew to 7.7% with 2.5 million customers. Now, despite the growth in mobile penetration and subscription, there was a recorded decline in local mobile voice traffic of about 2.7%. It was 7.6 billion minutes, down from 7.8 billion minutes recorded in the previous quarter. Moreover, subscriber average minutes of use was recorded at just about 80.3 minutes a month compared to 84.1 minutes registered in the last quarter.
Maybe because of various reasons.
Right, away from those numbers, in the wake of rising corporate disputes, the Attorney General's office has set up an arbitration center to keep cases out of the courts.
But
numerous cases have been referred to both the local and international courts that have drugs, making it harder for businesses to move forward. And by setting up the arbitration center, the AG's office is looking for a locally driven resolution mechanism to restore investor confidence. He is KTN's Philip Keitani.
Maybe in value addition, offering transport services along all
Kenya's attractiveness as an investment destination has seen billions of shillings sunk by both local and international investors into growing businesses. But as it is, with any business, disputes are sometimes inevitable, but the judicial process in the country tends to drag. This has in some instances seen cases deferred to international courts or arbitration centers, but Kenya is now getting its act together.
Government of Kenya has progressive future plans for further improving the environment for international arbitration in this country.
According to the Attorney General, it is time Africa establishes its own international arbitration institutions to ensure that it gets its share of arbitration conducted within the continent.
It is encouraging to know most countries in this region have fairly progressive arbitration structures which are based on the unity model.
concentrate on one thing.
Yes.
So it is also looking like farming is cool. That when we are doing some farming, it's like another extra activity for you, either as a hobby but also generating income.
Right.
Yeah.
More particularly from investors. To that a little
so
bit.
far, Kenya has also developed arbitration institutions, including the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, Kenyan chapter, the Strathmore Dispute Resolution Center, and more recently, the Nairobi Center for International Arbitration, which is under the Office of the Attorney General. This is expected to resolve matters quickly, giving investors a peace of mind.
One of the alumni of
KTN Business.
In a course, agricultural education and
extension. Let's talk numbers now. With a look at how your money was working for you today on the Nairobi Stock Exchange. Here's KTN's financial market review.
Ever in my life growing up as a young boy, I knew agriculture and I liked it. So for you to succeed in agriculture, you have to have that passion. But also I look at it in another angle, whereby kuzagaa mkoani Pwani tangu mwaka 1945 wengi wakiajiriwa kwenye mashamba ya makonge, na hadi wa leo serikali ya Kenya haijakubali jamii hii imeishia kufanya kazi za suluhu kwa ukosefu wa vitambulisho na vyeti.
Mara nafanya 50 mara 20 sasa nitaenda kuajiriwa kwa nani? Nimesema certificate. Nikabanga hizo sasa nimeolewa.
But you see from also I adapted this
nimeolewa na mkamba. Kila nijaribu kutafuta kitambulisho na bwana leta msha baba na mama. Babangu ndio wa Makonde, tatoa kitambulisho wapi?
One thing I advise the young people is when you are taking agriculture as an enterprise, it's good to select just 3 or 2 enterprises that are generating money. What we have found is many people selecting like 5 or 6.
Ndicho chama tawala Msumbiji pamoja na kile cha Mozambican National Resistance Electoral Union kama vyama vikuu huku uongozi wa kiimla ukitajwa kukithiri nchini humo.
I do not have a job, want to start farming, or want to make this money that these people are talking about. What would be the first steps for anyone wanting to get into this?
I think the first step is do a feasibility study. Are you going farming because you have seen you are making money, right? Or is it because it's a trend? So if you don't have that passion, and you have that idea, then after you have got the idea, do the feasibility studies. You know about the market.
Katika kamusi ya leo tunaangazia neno Idi. Idi ni siku kuu ya Waislamu.
So it is good to have your facts right.
So Joseph, I've done engineering, for example.
Ambazo husherekewa kila mwaka baada ya kumalizika kwa mwezi wa Ramadhan na baada ya kukamilika kwa ibada ya Hija.
Karibu tena. Seneta wa Nairobi Mike Mbuvi almaarufu Sonko kwa ushirikiana na maafisa wa polisi wamemkamata mlaghai mmoja ambaye amekuwa akitumia jina la seneta huyo kwenye mitandao ya kijamii kwa lengo la kuwalaghai wa Kenya. Joseph Gitau Njoki ambaye kwa sasa anazuiliwa alikamatwa baada ya kubuni ukurasa bandia wa Facebook kwa jina la Mike Sonko Foundation pamoja na kusajili nambari ya simu kwa jina la seneta wa Nairobi. Pia Gitau alikiri kutumia wakfu huo bandia kuitisha pesa kutoka kwa vijana akiwaahidi kuwapa kazi na hata kuwasaidia katika miradi yao mbalimbali. Kwa upande wake Sonko alisema kuwa kumekuwa na ongezeko la visa vya matapeli wanaotumia jina lake katika kuwahadaa wa Kenya, huku akiongeza kuwa yeye haitishi pesa zozote kutoka kwa wafuasi na mashabiki wake kwenye mitandao ya kijamii.
If you don't get it, us, especially in Mukulima Yangu, you buy it free. Either a question, right, and to an extent of you making it up to the level you want.
Right.
Yeah.
Joseph, I've talked to a few young farmers who've started this, and they grew their crops. When it got to time for selling, they met their first hurdle. Middlemen have come up as a big obstacle to a lot of young farmers or people who are getting into agribusiness as an enterprise. In your from where you sit and your experience having done this over the years, how do you go around this?
I look at middlemen or the brokers in two ways. Sometimes you say it is an evil you can't do without. One is because they address a need, especially in the rural area, by buying at the farm gate. But that is a charity to somebody who would like to earn more, because we also consider like the transport, the cost they incur there. Yeah. But currently, if you want maybe to sell it direct, that's why we have platform whereby you can post what you are selling.
Correct.
And then it is open. Because what middlemen, they are very clever. They are well informed. By the time they are coming there, we have even cartels of middlemen. You can get 5 of them, right, offering us a price almost the same because they discuss with themselves.
They set the price, right.
So online platforms whereby you sell your commodity like our Mukulima Yang Soko, that gives you a better opportunity getting to another customer who will maybe buy direct. And that's what we are trying to promote, whereby if you're a young farmer, you don't go the old way of marketing your commodities. It's good to adapt the technology and use maybe online platforms.
Joseph, before we get to you telling us the mistakes that we do as young farmers, source of funding. Lots of people are talking about melons and onions and whatnot and greenhouses. It takes money to set up these things. Even if it's a small area, a quarter acre. What would be the source of a young farmer's source of credit?
Most of the young farmers I've interacted with a few that have told me that my brother or my parents saw the urge I have for doing agriculture, and they promoted me. Others, they have tried banks, and now we have even the government providing the ways of fund. But what lacks is a good content or a business plan that can be convincing. Sometimes when they write, maybe they like the projection on where to go, so they lack the relevant information on how to develop a business plan. And sometimes they also talk about land. Currently, we talk about land. It's not a must you own land. You can lease it. And on our platforms, you see people saying, I'm leasing a piece of land of 1 or 2 acres. So financing have been a great problem. And maybe this is the high time, maybe also the banks try to look at the small scale farmers in a different way. And also the insurance company. Because they go together.
They go together. Joseph, our time is fast running out. What is this one big mistake that young farmers always do and it stops them from making the money?
Mostly, I think, is the idea of making money quick. Agriculture is an enterprise that you grow with. It requires patience. Sometimes you may burn your fingers.
But you need to be consistent.
It's a learning lesson.
So you don't make money quick.
You can, and sometimes you can't. But also you require patience and commitment. But also the other mistake we do is that most of them doing it as a side hustle. They don't have that good relationship with the Shaba boys they employ. So you lose contacts with the people you have employed to do that work. So it is good to understand the work they do, and also you learn with them. But always, those who have made it, they have made it very well.
So you have to make it a full-time job and be patient. You can't make money the first day. That's a good place to wind up. Job Center. I'll be speaking to Joseph Macharia, the brains behind Mkulima Young. And if you want to plunge into this, get employment, go to your internet, just go to Google anywhere, type Mkulima Young, you'll find Joseph, you'll find a lot of young people who are getting into farming, and probably we could push this from just about 26% contribution to the GDP to maybe 60, 80, who knows. This has been KTN Job Center.
Is intimidating the judiciary. We have the percentage of how you have polled.
Yes, and it's a bit closely tied. 56% of you say yes, and 44% do not think that the parliament is intimidating judiciary. Let's take a look at some. Yes, Linda?
Great. George Kisundi says, ignore the judiciary at your own peril, National Assembly notwithstanding.
Jalu says the judiciary of Kenya interprets and applies the law, but the National Assembly keep believing they are above the law. Sad.
Bernard Abuga says the National Assembly does not respect decisions of the judiciary, but they instead oppose and intimidate them.
And Federal Congress says the current National Assembly is a rogue, selfish house that will push the judiciary to the edge. Thank you for joining us in that big question poll tonight.
Thank you for being part of this bulletin and for watching. Sleep well. We'll see you tomorrow. Remember, Case Files with Dennis on Sorigo begins in just a few minutes.
My name is Ben Kitili. Good night from the KTN News Center.